I would like to raise a strange question. Has Europe dealt with the death of God? Or to frame the question in a more grounded manner, is Europe's collective highest regarded value sufficient? I have been thinking. It seems to me that Western society has decided upon quality of life as the highest value. After all, in the aftermath of the deadliest war in the history of humanity, would you expect anything else? Europe was left traumatized and horrified. No more of this. Get to Denmark. They indeed lead a life of quality over there. However, a byproduct of quality of life is comfort, and I have some concerns about comfort. Furthermore, does quality of life as the end goal deal away with nihilism? Here's hoping. Nietzsche's most infamous quote is often misquoted, or rather, unfinished. God is dead, and we have killed him. That's the full quote. Changes things, doesn't it? Nietzsche was not a nihilist. He was warning against nihilism. He, along with Dostoevsky, prophesied that after Christianity lost its power in Europe, nihilism and authoritarianism would eat it up. It did. As in Thus Spake Zarathustra, a human would rather worship a donkey than be left godless. Hence, the Soviet Union. Anyways, religion was or is an answer to nihilism. The problem is that in our scientific world, it is insufficient. We need an explanation. Science itself emerged as an anti-dogma to the church. Enough with the promise of a better afterlife. We want a better current life. And science won. In material and worldly manners, it blew religion out of the water. To hell with your repentance. There's a new iPhone to buy. If the church's goal was to reach heaven, then science's is to reach truth. But is that not the same thing, really? And isn't it all futile? Only time will tell. Moreover, even if it is reachable for future generations, what of us now? What meaning does that give to my life? We are all out for our own gain firstly, aren't we? Where is my personal salvation? And if there is none, then isn't the most reasonable answer to that, after me, the flood? More on that later. Science does not answer the moral question of how to act in this world. The 20th century's conclusion is that we cannot flourish without a proper ideal, a value to strive towards, a common value. It is not so easy to conjure up values alternative to the church that work. Again, the Soviet Union. Nietzsche's answer was that individuals are to create their own values, but he might have been wrong in this regard. It is not evident that humans are even capable of creating their own values. Furthermore, Nietzsche himself did not believe humans could do it. For that, he created the idea of the Übermensch. In any case, not particularly useful to me and you. To finally get to quality of life, how is it a sufficient end goal? Is it not nihilism with a sugary coat on top? Or rather, an acceptance of meaninglessness as a fundamental proposition and just trying to live it out as comfortably as possible? Is that not a decent definition of nihilism? It is perhaps so-called reasonable, pragmatic. The problem is that it's a pathway, although a slow one, to degradation. To, if we are lucky, an inner collapse, or if unlucky, to an outside force of opportunistic destruction. A degradation from one point of view, already in progress. The aging population, declining birth rates, rising nationalism, and the outside forces? One should not forget the immigrant crisis and the current situation with Russia. Furthermore, I could list out some more psychological problems I see in our beloved Europe that stem from nihilism. How about out-of-control consumerism, hyper-materialism, addiction, and flourishing narcissism? I could go on. But hold on, you exclaim. Who am I to criticize the order of the world, to bite the hand that feeds me? But am I not the product of the mighty values of Europe myself? An only child brought up faithless, taught by example to twist and bend morality for one's own gain, indulged in comfort, all the material needs provided for a priori. In short, all the qualities that one needs in life and none of the moral consequences. Go out and be what you want. Enjoy your provided life. Make something of yourself, or not. And here I am, another man in the strength of his youth, filled with despair and nihilism. Among many, I assure you, I am not an individual circumstantial case. I am merely the sprout of a much deeper root, and we are everywhere. Many of us are so numbed by addictions, comfort, sensory pleasures, and so used to meaninglessness we do not even comprehend that there is a problem to begin with. How could life be any different? Why even bother to get out of bed? Why make something of yourself? I am comfortable. Why participate in this hamster wheel? Why participate in this meaninglessness? Why not just live out my comfortable life on the backs of others, indulge in as many follies as possible, and die like we all will? Is the philosophy of the parasite not the correct one here? Is it not a logical conclusion to being brought up with the philosophy of quality of life? Is it not the rational answer to use up others' labor for my own gain? Will this not be the philosophy of our children? After me, the flood. My fear is that quality of life as an end goal is a degrading order of things, precisely because the children who are born into that life and have known no troubles or true evil will only indulge in the fruits of comfort and not go on producing other trees. Parents will be less and less successful in teaching proper values to their children. Parents themselves will not know the true values anymore. We will lose our aim. Generation by generation, this mass of parasites shall grow, and eventually the order of things will collapse. I have serious doubts if this system is a self-sustaining one. What if it is only a reactionary one? We require a clear moral voice. We require sustainable and meaningful values, a future to strive towards. Enough with the shiny objects and cakes. Let us distract ourselves no more and set the ship straight while we still can. I suppose I owe a brief explanation for the faint-hearted ones. I go about communicating my thoughts using Nietzsche's idea of philosophize with a hammer. My intent is to take a hammer to whatever foundation I intend on discussing. When I am done, what has withstood the hammer may be regarded as truth or at least correct. A house unable to withstand the fiercest criticism is made of cards, and in my eyes, it is better that it falls sooner than later. So leave your paintbrushes and bring your hammers, friends. We will have ourselves a revelation. Happy hammering.